Okay, brothers and sisters, something very beautiful happened when I came here. Few things which I want to share. There was, I think Sudha was speaking about the organization of things. So the essence of organization is the right thing at the right time and the right place. This is what is called a Shastra. And it applies to all layers of human activity. And we can apply it to education. What is the right time to begin education? Mother says, before conception. Parents have a role to play. They are going to sow a seed. The Vedas tell us that we are a double or in fact a triple birth. There are at least 2 seeds or 3 seeds inside us, covering one over other. The original seed is the seed of the divine. He has put it in creation. We do not know it. We do not see it. Yet there is a very simple evidence that this seed exists. What is the evidence? That there is something called as divine seed inside us. If I were to ask right now or any time, anywhere in this world, to anybody, few questions like, do you want beauty or ugliness? Do you want truth or falsehood, freedom or bondage, harmony or disorder, peace or agitation, happiness or suffering? Do you think there will be any second answer? Will there be any second answer? No. There is something in us which wants these things. But we are faced with the problem. This is the problem, original problem. All of us want these things, but in real time, our life is almost the opposite. We create discord. We have habits which leads to illness. We carefully create situations that will make us suffer. We all want love, but we are not ready to give love. So, we all want knowledge, but we tightly hold to ignorance. I don't want to let go of ignorance. What is ignorance? I know it. That is ignorance. The moment I comes with knowledge, it is ignorance. Knowledge is nobody's property. It is truth. Like the sun shines. Can we say I own the sun? I am a psychiatrist. If somebody says I own the sun, people will refer him or her to me. But the sun belongs to all. All can bask under it, grow with it, or shut their doors to it. Some people like when it is sunlight, still they want to sleep. That's a choice. I can choose to remain ignorant, but knowledge is like the sun. Who has lit up the sun? The source of all light. We heard that beautiful prayer. Tat savitur varam rupam jyotihi parasya dhimahi. The light of lights. It has lit up the sun, the stars. It is hidden in darkness. Everywhere there is light. There is no original darkness. So, knowledge is everywhere, and we have to just learn how to open to it. This opening to knowledge, in very beautiful word, vidya. Vidya, avidya. Vidya is to know and understand everything on the basis of this one truth, which is in everyone. Avidya is when everything is different. We know properties, this, that, 100 things. So before I started the talk, Sanjeev ji asked me, yesterday Sudha also asked me, or rather I was informed, Nilima, Sudha, that most people would know Tamil, translation would be needed. I am okay with it, but I think there is another language, Sanskrit, Tamil, all other languages, they are much later. There is something that comes before the language. That is the language of the heart. The original Veda. And if we can tune into that, understand that, then we understand. I give this simple example. Two people who speak same language, who come from the same background, how long do you think they can stay in the same room together without fighting? It's a challenge, isn't it? I am not asking answers. Sometimes not knowing the same language is an advantage. You don't know that the other person is abusing you. You simply say thank you. What we have to understand, there is a very nice little saying. I used to collect these sayings. So as a child student, I put it in my room. Saying was about friends, two friends. Who is a friend? And the saying said, if you cannot understand my silence, you cannot understand my words. Some of the most profound teachings are given in silence. I do not know whether you noticed or not. I am sure you must have. There was almost 10-15 minutes of beautiful silence. We were waiting. And it was one of the most beautiful gifts of this conference, to me at least. I love silence, it's so beautiful. What you do in that silence and with that silence defines us. Some were restless. I'm not saying about here. Some people get restless. Some look at the watches. Some are having thoughts. Some chatter. Some have their own logic. But some simply enjoy the silence as a gift of grace. Most precious gifts, nowadays especially. Most precious gift. As somebody has said, we have lost the ability to stand and stare at the stars, at the world, and it fills us all with wonder. Wonder is gone. Why have we lost the wonder? Children lose wonder. Why? Because we teach them answers. They have answers without questions. Teaching doesn't take place like that. Teaching starts with seeking. See, when there was no book, books are written now. In India, we had an oral tradition. Wonderful. It has a lot of merits, but I am not touching upon that. Oral tradition. But before even language was born, before there were schools, how did people learn? I love to quote this story of Satyakam Jabali from our scriptures. He is a young boy. He goes to Guru and he says, I want Brahma Gyan. What is Brahma Gyan? Brahma Gyan is highest knowledge. And what does it is meant by highest knowledge? That it is defined beautifully. That having known which all else can be known. It is like the secret key. So, Guru tells him, this story has many beautiful things. It's about who is the adhikari of knowledge. So he says, you find out first you write your father's name, dad's name, mummy's name. The child comes back and says, my mummy says, I don't know who is your father. I work as a maid. In many houses, I have served many masters. But this I know that you are my son. How will we interpret this? The child goes and repeats the same to the Guru. Guru says, a mother who has the courage to speak like this is a great woman. Come, you deserve the highest knowledge. But what we teach children, how to put up a show. Oh, I am this, I am that. Not realizing the real man that we were just reading. The real comes when all these artificial identities are stripped bare. That's why I said silence is so important. So what does the Guru do to the student? He says, take 100 cows, feeble cows, weak cows, to the forest. Come back when they become 400, strong and healthy. The disciple says, all right. Strange way of teaching. No classroom, nowhere. Nobody is teaching. No teacher is appointed. And he comes back with 400 cows. And the Guru sees his face is full of light. He has got the knowledge. He says, I got a knowledge from fire, I got a knowledge from the cow, I got a knowledge from falling in the well, everything. Because knowledge is everywhere. If we have the seeking, we will learn even when nothing is around us. And if we don't have the seeking, then information, this is the difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence, and human intelligence to be upgraded to divine intelligence. This is the difference. So he comes back. So Guru says, the story does not end here. Guru says, you have learnt everything. You are a Brahmagyani. What more can I teach you? This is the last test. And the disciple says, no. I want to learn from you. You see that quality of humility? Humility is not Before people will say, I am nothing. No, no. Humility is to know that whatever we may learn, how much ever we may know, we still know nothing. What happens when we have humility? We want to learn, we want to grow. So this is the quality that must come in children. This quality is often finished by the system of marks. I am 99%, I know more than the 95%. And the 95%, his goal is only to be 100%, only. How small we have made education. All the time we can learn. See, we were lighting the lamp, we learned something. It's a beautiful symbol. So beautifully we touched each other's hands. And the thought in my mind that flashed that time was, we are 5 or 6 holding each other's hands, but many of us are joined because of our hearts. Isn't it? We were together in heart. It is not always necessary to join hand, it is important to join heart. When heart is the center. This is the missing piece of modern education puzzle. All is mind, 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 and the left brain. My favorite joke. There are 2 sides of the brain, left and right. The left has nothing right in it, and the right has nothing left in it. Okay? But we forget there is also the heart. Heart is not just about emotions. Emotions are there, important. Emotions, without emotion, life is like khichdi without tadka. Or rasgulla without rasa. So, emotion gives joy. That's okay. That's emotion is not only. The heart is where the true person is. That's why we say Vanakam, Namaste. We don't say Vanakam or Vanakam. No, you look way, you say, this fellow, what's wrong with him? But if we do this, we don't even have to say anything. You understand? No? Why? Because instinctively, without any book, we know this is where the real person is. This is where I am, this is where you are, and what is that? Me? It is not all this outer personality. It has its place. So first thing in education is to bring the center right. The center is deep within our heart, hidden. How to bring it out? You see how to know in this audience who likes sweets. If you suddenly put on the table the best sweet, Ras Kadam or whatever, suddenly you will see some eyes. Oh, after the talk, depending on what we like. So, this real person does not wake up because we are not giving food to him. We are giving newspaper information, left brain likes it. WhatsApp jnana, sometimes left, sometimes right, sometimes only the cord. So, reactions. What is the food for this real person? What does it want? It knows it is the seed of the divine. Like a baby seeks the mother instinctively. This little baby seeks the divine as mother, father, everything instinctively. So what we are missing today, I'm saying from an Indian context. I come from a background where every day we had a Ramayana or something like a puja in the house. So many festivals in India. So what is the essence of all this? It's not the outer ritual, but there is the divine presence from childhood. As Sri Aurobindo says, everything is a sacerdocy. It's something sacred. The sense of the sacred. You see, people say there is a program called Indian Idol. No, I am not fond of it, but I know it exists. And they say it is a copy of American Idol. And I have to tell them, no sir, there is a very important difference. What is the difference? Format is same. But in Indian Idol, often I see, when somebody is going to perform, they touch. When the judge says, very nice, they bow down. They do pranam. What is this? This little touch that changes everything. I may have everything except this one thing. So we should create an environment. I'm not saying we have to tell them this story or that scripture. We have to find a way. I have my way. Each one has to find their way. How to give food to this psychic being. Sometimes the food can be simply in silence. Sit and reflect. And what do you reflect? Whatever is highest, reflect on that. Whatever you can conceive as highest. This psychic entity wants to progress endlessly. That's why it is called as child. Kumara. Kartike is Kumara. Is fire. Always conquering new things. He is a conqueror. Deva Senapati. Whatever he conquers, all the gods will come. They will help him. He is a Kumara. He is forever young. Always going into new things. Agni is also called sometimes as Balaka. It is the youngest of the young. So, the second thing which helps is progress. Flame of progress. Progress does not come by ready-made information. It is the best way to kill progress. Progress comes by awakening the seeking. And then yes, teachers have to be facilitators. When the child seeks, he will find somebody and you have to facilitate. I am just touching some key sutras, not the details, because that's a long subject. Urge for progress, joy of progress. And when does progress comes? When we don't have an end point. Passing the exam, coming first in exams, taking up a job. So I have met people after they have a job. I ask them what next, so they don't know what next. I will get married. What next? Children, what next? Children's children, what next? Ayyo, Yamaraj will come one day. What is this? We should be able to say at the point of even death, when Yama comes, we can tell him, you are not the right guy. I have heard your name is also Dharmaraj. We want Dharma. We don't want Yama. See, that is progress. He will ask, who taught you this? Dharma teaches us, it liberates us. Dharma is a very profound word. There should be a whole seminar someday on dharma. Dharma is not do's and don'ts. Dharma is the truth of each individual. Every element in creation, every creature has the dharma inbuilt. Dharma is shown as a wheel in Indian thought, isn't it? Dharma chakra. So you know what is the beauty of the wheel? Why it is shown as a wheel? So everybody will say this quality, that quality, all the spokes. But what do we miss? The center remains the same in a wheel. And as it moves, each quality evolves. So dharma is a very beautiful term. Dharma is that which we hold on to. If everything is taken away from us and we are left with nothing, what will we fall back upon? Can we say that about the divine in our life? That is dharma, core. And also that which holds us and connects us all together. So that is dharma. And here in education, each child has, or each soul has its own dharma, swadharma, its own way of developing. Simple analogy. Jayanti ji said something beautiful about flowers. Yes, each flower is different. Not only in variety, even in its requirement. Some flowers or some plants, let me generalize it, need more sunlight, some need shade, some need to be shifted, some need more water, some need less water. Isn't it? So each child has his own swadharma, but it gets covered. That is what our Indian yoga Vedanta tells us. It is covered. Covered by what? What covers our swadharma? Desires, ambitions. Who brings desire into the child's head? Parents, wonderful people. My child must become this. Finished. We have finished the child. We are playing like Putna, poison milk. Why should he become what you want the child to become? The child should become what he is meant to become. That is Swadharma. And the Gita goes on to say something very beautiful. Swadharmo nidhanam shreya, paradharmo bhayavaha. It is better to die following one's own true law of being than to follow another way of life. We have forgotten it. Swadharma, free progress means this. In ashram school there is free progress. Supposed to be, not that there is, but supposed to be. When mother was asked, what is free progress? She said, progress guided by one's soul. Finished. So we don't know the soul, but we have seen evidence that soul exists. Soul also likes certain things. What it likes? Beauty, good and truth. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Beauty in environment, atmosphere. There was a school in which people were spitting here, there on the wall. And they asked me, what should I do? I said, create the atmosphere of the place so beautiful. Everything, paint, plants. Then tell me after some time. Now children have stopped doing because it's so beautiful. Beauty has become so powerful now. But beauty is not only outer. Beauty is more importantly inner. It is like the fragrance of a flower. Inner beauty expresses itself through qualities. This is something which is so important. How to inculcate qualities in children? Thank God, not through moral science textbooks. Right, wrong. Only reason why we studied, in a convent school, I studied moral science. I had to study. But we wanted to study because it was the easiest subject. Maximum marks you can get. Okay? So how to bring that sense of ideal? It is again missing today. Who is our ideals? Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, Hollywood, we don't know what wood. It makes wood out of us. How did we create such a civilizational value with high ideals? Through stories, through the Ramayana, through the Mahabharata, all the complex questions of life. I am a psychiatrist by profession, so people have often asked me when I have taken classes, "Sir, tell us the best textbook in psychology that I can read." Standard answers are all those textbooks here and there. So I tell them, read the Mahabharata. You will know all about human nature, human personality, archetypes, conflicts, all the conflicts that you can imagine are there. See how Gita starts, conflict. Should I listen to my mom and dad, or should I listen to truth, or should I fight or not fight? All these are everyday problems, no? The Gita gives us an answer. What is Gita's answer? See, listen to the truth in you. Listen to the divine will. Listen to Dharma. Nothing goes beyond it. How beautiful answer. Always there will be confusion, no? My husband is saying something. Husbands are always saying something. They want wife to become like them or follow them, not become like them, sorry. That is dangerous, huh? They want her to follow them. But wives are very smart. They will say yes, yes. Wait for 20 years. The husband will be following the wife. Indian women are very smart. They will say yes, 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 slowly. He won't even realize. But in marriage, what do we do? What is at the center? Not husband, not wife. Fire. Fire of aspiration. Urge for progress together. See, so when we turn to these great works, there is an ideal. People say ideal you give to children, they can't follow. Real life, practical is different. You know, life has survived and evolved just because of few mad men who had the courage to follow an ideal. Even if they crashed, they helped mankind. Some mad person thought, I must fly. He made wings from feather of birds, put around with a thread and wax and flew. He fell, he died. But his will to fly did not die. We have our own version of the story. Jatayu and Sampati. Sampati falls, he tries to reach the sun, he falls. Hanuman also falls, trying to swallow the sun. But Sampati, even when he falls, his sight he gains, he can see hundreds of miles, he becomes useful. Even in his fall, he helps the cause. But more importantly, the will to fly does not die. If 100 people follow an ideal, even if none reaches in their lifetime, 1,000 will follow it after 100 years or 1,000 years. Even if none reaches after 10,000, one person will touch the ideal and many will open the door. This is how life is. many approximations, and that is the great joy of pursuing an ideal. You may not reach Mount Everest, but you have the joy of climbing, doing something which is truly great. This urge for progress, this ideal before us, this seemingly impossible task that man dares to take up as a great challenge. Long time back in a meeting, okay, I'll summarize soon. Long time back in a meeting, Auroville meeting, someone asked a person, but Auroville is full of difficulties. So somebody gave a very nice answer. He said, that's why I like it. Challenges. Somebody asked me similarly, oh, I thought it is a utopia. I said, you have not read Shiv Purana. Utopia is never ready-made. Even a ready-made utopia has to be deserved. You can't walk into heaven and say, I deserve it. No, I have reached here, therefore I will have it. Heaven is not just a space, it is as much an inner space. If you don't have this here, heaven will become hell. Like people who are not fond of flowers, when they go to one of the problem between husband and wife is, husband don't know that their smell of the socks is so horrifying. And they don't notice flowers. They are not used to the heaven that the woman has created. They like their hell. Don't disturb me, I am okay this way. I want to throw my books here and there. Okay, so utopia has to be built. Why? Because then we deserve it and we enjoy it. And that takes us to that question of discipline and freedom. Discipline helps in setting us free. If we don't know how to discipline ourselves, Madam used the word lower nature. If we are not ready to remove the covering of desire, ambition, ego, all this, how will we find the real parasmani? What is it called? Touchstone, philosopher's stone. We can't discover it. So all discipline in essence is this. Discipline is a goal-directed activity. It is not an activity, sit and stand, that is elementary, that is just to train us. But the essence of discipline is, if I resolve to do something, I must do it, whatever it takes. This is the essence of discipline. Can we realize any aim in life without discipline? Can we prepare food without discipline? Can I eat food without discipline? Discipline is there in the world. The right word is order, rhythm, harmony. And that makes us free. If I enter into the sea and I say, whatever way I will do, then I'll just drown. But if I know the secret of the sea, then I will swim and enjoy. So discipline helps us to get the delight of everything. So this has to be brought to the children and they will learn. And very beautifully, as you said, there is a reason why as they grow up, they are more disciplined. Why? Because for children, this is what is taught. Children, okay, they can be free. You know the reason? Children don't even have their capacities and faculties which have come up. So if you over-discipline a child will become very underconfident. He won't experiment. He won't try to find out who he is. He will become Papa's or Mama's best boy. We don't want best boys. We have had many. Some children become teacher's best boy. So they say, teacher ji, very happy. No. So children, you allow freedom to explore. Then once their capacity is begun to come out, then discipline is required, because then it is dangerous. So in a tree, we have these three stages. One, when the seed is growing, it comes out. Then when it is small, you need to fence it. And then when it grows into a tree, it is free. And what all a tree needs, a seed needs, that's what a child needs. It needs what? It needs a solid base, earth in which. So we all must find our rootedness. For a child, the rootedness is family. And the next is country. This modern thought which is destroying the spirit of family and destroying the spirit of country, you have to go beyond it. But if you don't root here, it is very, very harmful and damaging. First rootedness is there. Mother tongue, little things, child belongs to something. Yes, it has to go way beyond. But that is earth element. Then what is required? Water. What is water? Love. Love is always poured. Water comes down. It never goes up unless you heat it. So what? So love from that which is higher to that which is below it. And it can be any. Divine love is that. From the highest height to the depths of creation. This love. But right amount. Too much water stifles a plant. Too little water dries it up. Right? Then it needs Agni, fire, 5 elements, no? How to give fire? Urge for progress, and the home of fire is sun. So you have to show something towards which they must move. Fire takes everything up. Unlike water, it takes everything up. It purifies everything. So urge for progress can purify so much in us. It can refine us because I want to know more, I want to do better, I want to be more refined, more taste in music, anything. So it tends to lift everything up and up toward the sun, the source. So they should have that, awaken that. And it requires air. Now air is moving all over the world. Water moves in limited territory. So they must know how to get the best of this whole world. Let noble thoughts come to us from every side, as the Vedas say. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. And air has this quality of also taking many things away from us. It should not stagnate in a small closed room. Air needs to circulate and flow. Knowledge should be shared. Love should be shared. Joy should be shared. This idea of sharing with children, otherwise they know only to receive, get, is such a beautiful thing. And then space. Space is infinity. Don't fix a limit to what they can be, what they should become, should not become. That's where we need to give maximum freedom. Maximum freedom is to be what deep within I am meant to be. There is no limit to that. And this is in a nutshell. Obviously, a teacher has to have all these things. We can't make somebody, child, have the psychic being unless we have discovered. Child may ask, "Sir, have you found your soul?" You are telling nice things from the book, quoting from Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So we should be able to say what else is there to find. When Swami Ramtirth gave a talk, audience asked, "Sir, are you trying to say that you have a soul, we all have a soul?" He said, No, you got me wrong. Huh? What are you saying? I said, I am a soul and I have a body. So body, mind, life, heart, personality is an instrument of the soul. Hence it should be developed. Often in integral education we say everything should be developed, but what is the role of each one? Soul is the master. The Ish. That's how it is called. Na? Anish. Then it becomes Ish. Initially it is Anish. It must become the master, the Lord. And personality should be befitting. I may know all the music inside, but I don't have an instrument to play. What is the use? So development of personality, mind, heart, emotions, vital life energy, body, all this is important. Why? Because the soul has to express itself through these instruments. So all of them must be developed, but we should know the reversal of the role. The body should not govern the soul. What is meant by it? I want to meditate, but I have too much pain in my leg. When the leg pain is cured, oh, I feel very tired today. Oh, I'll read tomorrow. What is happening now? The body and vital is governing the soul. I want to progress, have Brahma Jnana. But my mind says, who knows? Guru is telling you, Are, Guru has gone. There are minds which tell like that. I doubt. Then what will happen? We will remain circling in the cloud of doubt. So, the mind has to obey the soul. Then we need no other authority. If the mind obeys the soul, the heart obeys the soul, the body obeys the soul, makes the right movement at the right gesture, we don't need to have a handbook of do's and don'ts of life. So this is, in a nutshell, a composite, I don't want to stick a label, view or understanding. I have just spoken what has occurred at this point of time, just shared. And thank you so much. I don't know what next. If you have questions, whatever you want to summarize.
I know both the ashram and Auroville have experiments in free progress education. How do you see both?
Okay, thank you so much. I'll answer it with a little bit of touch of irony and humor. There is freedom and there is progress, but there is no free progress most of the places, because condition of free progress, as the mother has said, progress guided by your own soul, your swadharma. And I feel, I'm not saying all the people, I'm saying generally, we have this idea that if we allow children freedom to explore, they will progress. It's good, it's the second best substitute. Because if you explore, you will end up probably discovering something, experimenting. That's okay. But without really discovering the deep essence of things. As in the beginning, I think you said very beautifully that everything has its right place. To discover that place, we must know who we are, what we are meant to be. We should give them periods of silence, according to me. This is how I understand. When they should reflect on these three questions. Who am I? Very important. Who am I? What is the purpose? Purpose of life, my purpose. My aim, goal, call it whatever. And we can summarize it in one sentence. Where am I going? Who am I? Where am I going? Where do I want to go? And the third, which is as important, missing. Where do I come from? It may sound very strange. See, one of the problems we face today is disunity all over the world. And Mother was asked, how can humanity become one? She gave a beautiful answer. By becoming conscious of its origin. See, that is so beautiful when we discover the origin. Then all these outer differences, they have their place, unity in diversity. Yes, but very often we forget the substrate of unity. Yes, diversity is natural. Of course, not sameness. Some people try to create sameness. Diversity is beautiful. But this diversity does not mean chaos Anything, anywhere, we have diversity, like the waste paper basket. So everything in its right place. And the connecting thread is common origin, common aspiration, a single will. We have that beautiful sloka in Agni Mantramala, Sangachatvam, Sangvadatvam, Sango Manasi. This was the foundation of Bharatvarsh when the Dasajin Rajane, when they won together, they recited this mantra, Rishi Vasisht. So basically, what is my origin? And my origin, if some common sense is there in us, we will say, firstly, we are all humans. All else has come later. Religion came later, everything else came later, customs, traditions, everything came. Human is a common. But what is human? 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears? No. What is human? Humans are defined by this urge for progress. This is something uniquely human. Sri Aurobindo says, animal is satisfied with a modicum of necessity. Gods are content with their splendor. But human beings, ever dissatisfied. Nurture this in a child. So free progress means each one progresses along the lines intended, or the divine intention or the divine purpose within. It requires a very, I won't use the word sophisticated, very subtle kind of approach to children. And even if few teachers or one teacher is there, I'm sure there are everywhere. Auroville, of course, certainly ashram, I am aware of some people who have this spontaneous contact with their soul. Children have it, we finish it. Children have it. Children have to make an effort to tell a lie. They ask, Papa, you are here. You want me to tell them you have gone? No? Children are in contact with their souls. Most children are. Almost all children. You can see it with their eyes. Such a frankness, such a spontaneity. They don't say, oh, you speak different language. No. Child goes to the lab, happy. He just feels, safe. That's all that the child feels. He feels love. So it's important to understand, bring out that element. Children have it. At least we should not finish it. And if they have the urge to progress, then we have to give them all the possible opportunities to progress. That is what freedom implies. So sometimes one child may want one particular approach or a language. Provide the opportunity. That's how in ashram originally it was planned. One child wants to do lot more in mathematics. Another child is interested in music. So accordingly we have to arrange the education. After a certain level, obviously for children it will be common. So I don't know how it is practiced here and now, even ashram, how it is practiced. But at least from the ashram setup, even when mother, it was very difficult and challenging. So there are questions of teachers and the mother takes pains to explain. So one simple way is that all the teachers in a school, regardless of her beliefs, non-beliefs, faith, whatever it is, read Mother and Sri Aurobindo together, at least on education. Swadhyaya. It is very helpful. You were speaking about, reading with Kirit Bhai together, because then we will know exactly and we will get inspired. This may be happening already. I know some schools which do it. So it's a very good practice. And then we can reflect, we can do with it many things, reflect how to implement it. But this is what my feeling is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have said 2 points. One is regarding Guru and Shiksha. Here, I think the education depends very much on example. If I live example, I can educate. If I am not just talking, and not living, there is no sense.
Yes.
And that is where I think we should do in the more sense that we are becoming an example, living example, what we are teaching, maybe less. It's not what you have said, what Mother have said, what Shravinda has said. It is not all possible to implement, but what I can live, I should do that. That is for me the first thing. Second thing is more important, rooted, what you are saying. What are our roots? This question has to be given because I think we have a root 5,000 years back with Vedas, but it is changing. Time is changing. So we have to change also or develop the roots also and say what is the now our rooting, where we are rooted now in our present culture.
Okay.
That is the two questions there.
Thank you so much. One is, yes, influence and example along with the word. In fact, word has a power only when it flows from a deep truth of our being. Otherwise, word is meaningless. There is a story about that king who, one of his ministers said, I want a few months to practice Gayatri Mantra. King said, don't fool me. You are basically wanting holiday. He said, no, I want to do this mantra sadhana. What mantra sadhana? I know Gayatri Mantra. I can repeat it. Most people know. So minister understood that he has not understood. So minister suddenly shouted, hey, all of you, to the court people, arrest the king. So everybody looked, what is he doing? Then the king got angry and he said, arrest this minister. Immediately they came and wanted to arrest the minister. So the minister said, see, you also said the same thing, I also said the same thing. But they listened to you and they laughed at me. This is what is called as a mantra sadhana. So every word we speak, we must live it. And by living it within us, the example flows naturally. Also, as I said, we can create examples. We had those, I have grown up in that kind of culture, where my yardstick was Sri Rama till he was surpassed by Sri Krishna. I thought Sri Krishna is unsurpassable till I found Sri Aurobindo. And the mother, they have surpassed everything. So that ideal also can be created when it's missing in human beings. It's difficult. So Sri Aurobindo and the mother's life is an ideal. I look at it like that. I often suggest people read their life. It may be difficult to read their philosophy or to do the yoga. Read their life, it will inspire us. Reading Ramayana is doing yoga. So this is one part, lives of the great ones who remind us how to walk through life. Rootedness, 5,000 years in the Vedas, is very interesting. What does the Vedas say about our root? They say truth is the foundation. So we cannot. Even if 10,000 years further, truth will still be the foundation. So we don't have to disconnect and be rooted here. We have to be rooted in truth because that is what the Vedas teach us. But what is their definition or understanding of truth? They say, number one, we cannot define it. We cannot limit it. It's vast. It is supreme harmony. Truth automatically brings harmony. Mother has given a definition, truth cures. It cures us of all disorder, suffering, evil. You see, so much because we have stifled truth and then we cover one false, one other false, another false. Then we have to struggle. One day, speak the truth to yourself to start with. See how liberating it is. So truth liberates. It sets us free into the vast. It gives us courage, strength, power. It empowers us. So when we take that understanding of the Vedas, which we spoke about 5,000, 10,000 years back, it means we are rooted in truth. And that is the great civilizational value which can never be undermined. Mother and Sri Aurobindo, in today's context, still it is truth. Because it is the basis of all things, the basis of creation. And we must explore, discover it. Obviously, truth has many masks, And truth is one and infinite. So it has many masks we have to understand. How to find it? That's where the context comes of a time and space. So if for me, there are so many paths to truth. But once I choose, I'm now making it contextual, that this is what my goal is. Let us say the mother and Sri Aurobindo give me, to my understanding, integral vision of truth. In the beginning, what Sanjeev was introducing. Everybody has some truth. I had read all the philosophies, Indian, Western, Vedas, Upanishads, the Gita, Sri Ramakrishna, Kant, Goethe, everything, but it didn't satisfy me. I didn't feel it is complete. But once I find the completest truth in Sri Aurobindo, I'm not saying about somebody else should find or not, then I have to give myself completely to it. I can't then say little bit of this. That's what is sincerity. So there are many ways to truth. But what is that side? Truth has many sides also. I don't want to find impersonal truth. That doesn't go with me. Somebody else may be happy. I don't want to find the truth of solitary salvation or enjoying some heaven. That's not me. As a doctor and even as a sensitive boy, I saw so much suffering in this world. Not in my own life. Very lucky, Mother's grace. Everything was smooth, without any shadow. She literally carried me and carries me. But when you look around, you see so much evil, suffering. For me, truth was something which can cure it, correct it. I am not interested in finding truth which is beyond the world. So Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Now the moment I admit that, then it becomes contextual. I must follow what Mother and Sri Aurobindo tell me, the path to undertake. Of course, I am nobody and I would never want everybody should follow the same path. This is what the beauty of, again, the Vedas is. It doesn't believe in any outer conversion. But it believes in the inner conversion. So this is keeping it very simple. Truth is the foundation. And that foundation is not below, but urdharva moola. It is high above. It is reflected below. And that truth we must discover. The thing that we must inculcate in a child with regard to this particular issue is love for truth. Truth cannot emerge where there is fear. Truth in speech, truth in feelings, truth in thought, truth in will. Nothing should contradict. Truth in my physical actions. In Air Force, I have been 20 years. We have parties. We used to serve liquor. My thing was, I don't want to serve. People said, you won't get promotion. I said, I don't care. I want to live by my highest. And it was very good. People ended up saying, oh, he's a man of integrity. That was litter. Stand by what you believe in true. If we can give them, children teach this, that truth is the foundation. Believe in truth. Discover truth. Relentlessly discover truth. I think we have connected them both to the Vedas and to today and to tomorrow, because truth is the unshakable foundation of all things. Thank you so much. Thank you.